Hey guys, ViscoScomb24 here, bringing you a real quick redstone video. Today I'm going to be giving you a real quick showcase and a download for my slightly improved 14x14 cave door. I've sped up the closing a little bit, and as you can see over there, I also have given you a copy of the layout. And if I flick the lever again, you can see it does all still open, and the opening was where I really tried to improve it. So as you can see here, the back extenders, those back three extenders are way faster than they were before. I believe there's at least been a 3-second improvement. And the reason there's no real like spam proof is because I tried my hardest to make it so that there was as little as cooldown as possible between when you heard or saw the last piston movement and when you could flick the lever again. So flick this lever, you'll see everything closes, and the top will close now. And once you see all of those pistons do their thing, you can flick the lever again, and everything will be fine. Pretty much instantly after those pistons have finished doing their thing, you can flick the lever again, and everything will be just fine. And also, once the top has finished doing its thing, where you see those final piston movements up there, you can flick the lever again, and you'll see nothing will break. I really tried to keep the cooldown as little as possible. And, I mean, if you want to break it, just spam flick the lever. That'll always work. But if you don't want to break it and you actually do want to just see how it functions, you only have to wait a little bit after you see the entire door close. Just wait for those pistons down there to do their thing. And just almost immediately after you see the door finish opening. Yeah, so let's just talk a little bit about the layout. If you remember last video, I said I made some improvements that helped me make this version over there function, and these are the improvements. Number one, instead of having one quadruple piston extender, I had two side by side using honey. This is one of the few times honey has actually helped in an extender, instead of just acting as the final piston movement. And then over here, it helped with the final piston movements and, terracotta. Terracotta is your friend. It really helps with the push limit. Because as you can see here, if I really quickly get out some redstone blocks, you can see if I do that, it can pull back the terracotta, but in terms of extension, the terracotta gets left behind. And the only thing you really have to do to get, like, the wall up here, as you can see, it is no longer flat. All you have to do is just give this sticky piston right here a quick power, and the wall is flat again. I use that for the 6 and 5 piston extenders here, and then also for the 3 piston extender and the double piston extenders. So, that was a thing. And then down here you can also see same thing. Instead of having one quadruple, I had 2. So yeah, like I said in the last video, I would start working on a 15x15 after I got the download out, and here's the download. So I need to talk about the 15x15. The way this layout algorithm works is it repeats. So you have your first layer, I'd like to say, like one piston extender, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. For the 15x15 on the bottom, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then it would go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That wouldn't really be an issue because these piston extenders can really just go up to about like 12 before it becomes completely impossible. But the biggest issue is the fact that the algorithm repeats on itself 3 times. Technically, it repeats on itself 3 times in the 14x14, but in the 15x15, it repeats on itself 3 times and has a double in the middle. What I mean by that is, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then if you go over to the 30 piston extender, you'll see another 1 piston extender, and then 2, 3, and 4. That's kind of how this algorithm works. It just layers on top of itself until you get the entire door functioning. And you can see here's the 3rd time it repeats. You have your single piston extenders again. Everything comes full circle. Well, on the 15x15, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Then it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, but then there would be a 5 piston extender, and then it would go 1 and then 2. that's the biggest issue, because in theory you would be able to have access to these pistons, but there is no way in heck that the push limit would not kick you down for, the length of the extenders. Like, they would have to be super long in order for you to be able to access them. And another issue is the fact that the whole idea of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, like that setup, those repetitions, that would have to be flipped over to the wall, and having a quadruple piston extender surrounded by other extenders coming from the wall horizontally, it just wouldn't work out all that well. The push limit would, like, without a doubt, get you there. So, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. It might be possible. Again, like I said in the last video, I didn't know that the 13 by 13 would be possible, and then turned out it was. And same thing with the 14 by 14, but 15 by 15, it actually is seriously pushing it, because 15 by 15 is where I consider my piston extender algorithm. Like, the A piston extender in that door would take a lot of logic, and the whole cave door layout algorithm sort of falls apart at 15 by 15 because of how the repetition of those extenders goes up to 2 for the third repetition. None of that made sense. I'm sure none of it made sense. I'm sorry, but that's kind of the best way I can explain it. Also, a real quick thing that I did up here. This was the experimental piston extender from the ceiling that I was testing. So pretty much the way that I did this was I had to sort of mimic a slab, and so to do that I just cut off the redstone with this piston here and this pulse extender, keeping the piston extended out while the second pulse went through. And so it would cut off the redstone, so this piston and that piston would not be powered. Then once that was done, you would need another pulse to go through. So what I did was I had this piston here hooked up to its own respective pulse extender, cut off that redstone, meaning that these top 4 pistons, 1, 2, 3, 4, would not be powered at all. And then I just sent in the final pulse to get in the retraction of this piston through right there. And that was entirely experimental, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, because it was actually relatively easy to put side by side. So I do, in fact, have a way to make piston extenders that go down for these larger doors, and the ceiling logic will hopefully be kept more compact in any future doors. But yeah, that's just about it for the extender. Oh, one other change that I made to speed it all up. So as you can see down here, this line would have normally been running into a block, but I just removed all the blocks and replaced them with repeaters. And the reason that the previous design was so slow was to make it so that this extender here wouldn't be affected by this piston extending while this extender's logic was being fired off. And it was working, but I was like, no, I gotta do something about that. That's too slow. So this was the best fix I could think of, and it's working pretty well. Now, I don't know if chunk loading has actually taken hold of any of the extenders on this door. If it does, let me know so I can fix the download world. But other than that, that's just about it for this video. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this door. Hope you enjoy taking a look at it, seeing how it works, and picking it apart bit by bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you want to have a go at, speeding it up, feel free. But, yeah, that's just about it. Aha! I forgot to break that block. I'm a tactical genius. Alright, well, that's just about it. Again, this is this video. My demonstration broke the door, but don't worry. Download still functions. I just forgot to remove that block I used in the demonstration. Oh my god, I have a very small brain, but yeah, again, hope you all enjoy. I'm ViscosComb24, and I'll see you next time. So yeah, that's just about it for this video. Again, in the download, you'll get the door improved version and the layout. So yeah, there you go. I hope you all enjoyed. Fuck you, Kappa, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.